Good morning. I'd like to talk this morning about fasting and protein. So for the longest time, a few years, been a couple of years now at least, I was engaging in intermittent fasting on a fairly regular basis. And I think I did it for 2 or 3 years, and I enjoyed it. I didn't find it difficult after first getting used to it. And I did find, as others have reported, that during my fast, I was feeling really high energy in doing so. And but then later on, and I also was encouraged by reports that actually fasting helped with autophagy, which is supposed to be very healthy. People like Attia are talking about, and others are saying that fasting, David Sinclair from Harvard University, is helpful in actually prolonging life. Then I started to listen to Stuart Phillips, who is from McMaster University, on protein. And although I don't remember him ever put words in his mouth condemning fasting, what he talked about is that our body is always either in a state of protein breakdown or protein synthesis. And basically that we should consume, especially as we get older, protein on a regular basis every few hours. And because as we get older, we don't absorb as much, and we can only absorb so much in any one time. So I seem to remember, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, that he was asked a question about intermittent fasting and more or less said, or my interpretation here only, that, if you're not eating for a number of hours, you would go into a state of protein breakdown rather than protein synthesis. And that if you wanted to build muscle, you should spend more time in protein synthesis than protein breakdown. So I've gotten away from intermittent fasting based on what seemed like logical information, and just sort of working on controlling total caloric intake by simply eating less overall, to which I've adhered more or less, not always very well, but my weight hasn't fluctuated more than 3 or 4 pounds. So, I haven't been doing too bad. Now, recently I watched a YouTube video from Fred Hahn, who was talking about the benefits of intermittent fasting. And this was recommended to me by one of my clients, and I thought I'm going to check this out because Fred has had good success in building some muscle at a relatively advanced age at 57 years old. And one of the things that he said, he alluded to the idea of protein and having it, and he basically said, as long as his recommendation was to consume some branched chain amino acids during your fast. This would not break the fast, but would address the idea of making sure that you remain in protein synthesis. My words, not his. And of course, going back to Stuart Phillips, he talks about particular amino acid, leucine, as being the most important in terms of muscle growth. And of course, I believe that most branched chain amino acids are composed of leucine, isoleucine, and valine, if I'm not mistaken. So with that in mind, I'm now looking at revisiting intermittent fasting with the adjustment of taking some branched chain amino acids during the fast to ensure that I remain in a synthesis state. Anyways, I'm posting this as an update to my thinking and also looking for feedback from whoever is listening to this. So it's Sunday morning, I'm in my house good, enjoying my morning coffee, but I had the idea, so I thought there's no time like the present. I hope everybody has a great Sunday.